Okay, welcome back again. We're going to be talking now about your basic license and taking you through how to edit emails and PDFs, and we're going to review the forms and their fields as well. Okay, so those are the topics for this particular session. We'll get straight into it. So let's have a look. Login is Sarah Jones, and let's have a look and see now, like I say, back to our list of documents. So remember, documents are the enrollments we get within course sales. And in the basic license, you'll be able to, this is the place to go to basically as enrollments come in via your website using the WordPress plugin. You'll be able to see those enrollments come in and you'll be able to process them as you need to. Okay, so let's get into editing emails. So course sales sets, by default, it's set up a number of emails to be sent, particularly at points like, for example, when someone enrolls, an email is sent to the student. When someone receives a statement of attainment, it's via email with a PDF attachment. Also, when USIs are verified and are incorrect, then a request goes out to the student to correct their USI, so you don't have to do it. They click on a link in the email, and then they will complete that that step in their USI validation. Excuse me. So let's go into it now. Let's click on the Publish tab at the top here. Click on Publish. Click on Content. This is where our emails and our PDFs are stored that you might need to edit. So click on Content there. Immediately we can see the emails, but you can always filter on the left-hand side here using this filter mechanism. Choose Email, and then click on the filter button, and we're just going to see the email. So we've just got 4 set up at the moment. Nice and easy, not too complicated, so you can go in and have a look. We do have also an email there about invitation to register. This is where you enroll someone on the course and then send them an invitation to register on the course. So you might just want to get their name and their email address. Maybe even you want them to distribute that invitation to other people on the training course. Maybe there's someone who has 15 colleagues or something like that. You'll be hitting the pay packet there, the money there. So that'll be kind of useful, kind of fun. So let's go in and start editing these. I'm going to click on the edit button there, or the rolling pin there, second icon along. That'll enable us to edit this email. It's very common. You can see we've got the name, of course, and the label. Now, usually the name is what we use within course sales, okay? So the name is used, and this name can be anything that you want, okay? So the customers aren't going to see this. Not that customers get to see the label in this instance, but usually the label is something that's displayed publicly. In this case, however, the main content that's used is this content down here. So we've got the email subject and the email body. So this is editing the email subject. So that's the content there. So the email subject will just be invitation to register. Then the email body is where we have a little bit more content. Now, I know what some of these are. Let me just give you a bit of information. First of all, this is the first name of the student. This name here is the first name of the student, and then we've got the body of the body of the email with a link there to continuing the enrollment. Okay, so please enroll in your course here. So this will take them through to an enrollment form, and that'll get them to completely enroll in the training course. We also have here, we've got a link or a reference, a short code that includes that branch signature. Do you remember a few videos ago when we edited the branch record under options and we updated the signature? Well, this is where that signature appears in the bottom here. So it's automatically added there to the email. Now you can add additional things in here. Let's go back to the subject. Let's say we want to say invitation to register on, and then specify the training course. Now you don't need to write in here the training course. You don't need to write in here the name of the training course. What you want to do is you want that to vary depending on the course that they've inquired on, or course that they've registered on, or you want them to register on. So let's click on the Fields button here. There's 2 ways of doing this. Click on the Fields button. This comes up with a little widget here that allows us to select a record type. So in this case, we're going to select the course date. So we're going to select the course date, and we're going to select the category. So this is the course category. This is the name for display. So we're going to use this one here. This would include, if necessary, those other values. We're going to copy that across, or we can even drag it across here and there we go, place it directly in here. So you can see now when we send this off, this is going to say invitation to register on first aid with CPR, or it'll say invitation to register on diploma of business. So you can see here, this is going to include the category name. Now in the email body, you might want to include more information in here. You might want to include a bit of marketing information saying, we are really looking forward to seeing you on this course. Please feel free to email or phone us with any questions. Okay, and you might want to do a few things like really looking forward. Let's put that in bold. So just select that and you can click on this button here, the bold button. So it's just like editing any other word processing document. You can even put things in links. So we might want to say, instead of having this link here, we might want to cut that. So I'm going to go Control X to cut that information. Okay, and now I'm going to actually make a link for this text. So you can see here, let's click on this link here, insert a link. So I've selected the text, inserting link. I'm going to go Control V, which allows me to paste, or I can right click and I can paste in the link. And you can see even this link has special sort of code in it, which is getting the course date ID. So click on OK, and now you can see we've got a link in here. So the customer is going to receive a text with the link in it, which is pretty cool. So I can click on Save there, and that'll now save that email. So you can go in and you can edit any of these emails. I'll just quickly go through them here so you can see what they are. So again, you can see here your course registration reference. There we go, and you can even include more information. That's in the subject line. Email body, again, you can contain more information in here. You can even get information from the venue. So you could say venue, click on fields, choose the course, let's see, course description, maybe a course date, rather that might have the venue. Let's have a look. Venue, okay, that's got the venue ID, that's got the venue name, but what if we wanted to include the actual full address? So if we wanted to do that, we're better off going down to venues down here, and then we're better off going, there we go, we've got access to the floor, we've got access to the Google Map URL, we've got access to the location name, the name of the venue, the postcode of the venue, so you can put all of these into your email. So we might say venue, let's put that there, then let's put the street there as well. So I'm just dragging these across, and let's include also the location name as well. Okay, so let's go room, and then there we go, we've got the room, and then we've got the street name, and then we've got the display location name as well. So I've got all that information in here. I can even talk about things like I can talk about anything really. The course, what the course is, and again we know about this because we can go into fields. We go here to course dates, and then we type in category, and we can get the name for display, and there we go. Just drag it in there, and we've got the name of the course there as well. So really easy to do. Statement of attainment. This is a bit different. The statement of attainment. This actually attaches a file. So it attaches a PDF down the bottom here. You can see here we've got a statement of attainment attached to that. I'm going to have a look at that shortly. But if you have got any PDFs, you can click on the Add PDFs button. Or if you've got any files that you need to be attached to the email, then you can use the Add File Categories button to do that. Okay, so all the files that are linked to the course master that have the files attached and have that course category will be included. Okay, so again, email body, pretty standard text there to start with, but you can make it a bit more sexy so it works better for you. And then in here we've got a USI reminder. This is telling people that the USI needs correcting. And again, you can see here, let's replace that. The correct data in there. You can see here we've got a lot of information here that takes someone through basically. And this in fact includes a message about the USI. So you can see here there's actually a message about the USI saying, hey, your USI is incorrect, and trying to get that information correct. Okay. So that's the email. So go through and adjust the emails. The other one is to adjust the PDF. So by default, we'll probably set up a statement of attainment or a certificate. So again, I've filtered on the left-hand side here by content type PDF. And now I'm going to click on the edit button here for the statement of attainment. You can see here, pretty standard stuff. It talks about the subject line. There's a bit more information here. We've also got this is actually the file name. This is the file name that will be used. So you can include variables in the file name as well. I'll click on PDF content. So nothing, it looks like nothing's there, but there is actually something there because this caters for a background image. And often there's in the background image, there are logos or titles at the top of the background image. So you don't see the background image in the content, but when it gets produced, that is added. Okay, so you can see here, we've got a certificate being created saying this is certified that, and I suspect this is the first name and surname of the individual. And then we include the name of the course, the date that it's been issued, and then we've also got a list of the topic. This is a topic summary. That means the topics are those topics that have an outcome of successfully passed. We've got an external ID for the certificate number, and also we're using the license phone number as a phone number to validate. So you can see they're pretty standard stuff. Again, you've got access to the fields icon here, so you can actually add any sort of fields you want. There's a big list of different fields you can add in there. And further down here, what we also do is we also add the forms. So published forms need to be added to a PDF. So just be aware that if you go and create any extra forms and you want that data to be there, you're going to have to add them into the PDF, see if there's data coming from those forms. So for the data to appear here, we have to attach it to any of those document forms, etc. Okay, so that's editing the PDF and the emails. Really easy stuff to do. So go in there and customize it. Be sure to add those fields as you need to. Okay, so the next step is to actually go on to the form. So now we've done the PDFs and we've done the emails. Let's click on the Forms tab at the top here, and then click on the Forms icon. And this is giving us a list of the different forms. And the forms we're interested in particular, is this document form. Okay, so this document form, this is the form that is being used to display to the students to gather their enrollment information. And so we can go in here and we can edit the form. You can see here we've got all the fields here listed. Now this might not look very form-like, but if we use the context-sensitive nature of the ribbon, we can immediately jump up here to the publish form. So remember that the ribbon at the top here knows where you are, so it makes certain icons colored or not, depending on whether it knows what you want to edit. So in this case, it knows which form I want to have a look at and to view. So I'm going to view the published version of the form, which is going to look a lot more straightforward, a lot simpler. What you'd probably expect students to see. So I'm going to click on that button there. It's going to take me, while I'm editing this form, I can do that. And it takes me to the form. I'm going to scroll down a bit. There we go. It looks pretty standard now. It looks like what you might expect. Now you can make changes. So see here it says first name, last name. What if I wanted this one here to say surname and this one to say your name? So what I could do is I can make an edit there. I can literally use the context sensitive nature of the menu at the top here by clicking on the edit beside forms. Now I'm looking here, I can see that this field here is the client first given name. I'm going to click on the edit button there. That's going to enable me to change this to your name. There we go. Click on save. And then this one here, I'm going to change to surname. And click on save. Now those changes won't be available yet. Okay, I can't go to the publish form and see those changes because forms need to be published first. So on the right hand side here, we're going to click on save and preview. And there we go. That's the previewing the forms. It's still not available. It's still not being used, but we can see that it's changed, isn't it? It now says your name and says surname. So these are updating the fields. We can even move these fields around as well, move them to different places. We can put them in boxes. We can do quite a few things. We can even add extra text, so you can see how this text has been added for the USI. But equally, we can make all of the stuff, even the headings, etc. A lot of this information can be changed by yourself, and you can even make hidden fields, some of them hidden if you want to. Now I'm going to click on publish, and now that information is going to be available and now used. So if someone goes in and starts to enroll via the WordPress plugin, then they're going to be seeing those new field names on the forms, which is pretty cool. Now, one of the things you should do as part of this process, you should go through and make sure that the names do match what you expect them to match. We know that some customers require different naming conventions. Maybe even there's different fields and new fields that you need to have added. So you have a limited ability to add any new fields to the basic license. But what you can do is you can put a request in during the configuration, and we can do up to about half a dozen new fields if you need them. Any more than that, we'll probably need to schedule that work. But there are opportunities to have as many fields effectively as you want, even in the basic edition. And some of those items, like I say, might have to be scheduled. But definitely half a dozen is definitely within the scope of getting work up and running. Getting you up and running, and you can make any modifications you want to existing fields. So that gives you quite a bit of scope for being flexible there. Okay, so once you've done a review of the form and you've identified any extra fields, particularly if you're planning on doing any imports. If you wish us to do an import of data, we can definitely do that. If you need an import of just plain data, so customer contact information like phone numbers and email addresses and names, etc. That's a fairly straightforward import to do. We'll supply you with a template. You can enter the data in, and then we can complete the import for you. Now, doing that is fairly straightforward. If you need to have, however, your Vetmus data imported, so let's say you've got a couple of years of Vetmus data that you need to have imported, you're best off doing that as part of the onboarding process. So make sure you purchase an onboarding setup that is going to include the importing of data that you require. So contact us if you're not sure, but if you can just let us know if there are any extra fields that we need to take into account, which might be included in the import data file, because once we've set that up, it's a little bit tricky to change. So we'd rather get all that set up nice and early on. Okay, that's it. So you're all ready now to start taking enrollments. You've got your form all sorted. You've fixed up your fields. At this point, maybe we'll be doing an import for you, so you'll see imported data once you've sent us that confirmation or request for extra fields. And you'll actually start taking enrollments now. That could definitely happen. So once you've got the WordPress plugin set up, which you can contact us about as well. Okay, thanks a lot. We'll talk to you soon.